What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Honestly, at the moment, Manchester United fans are going through a lot because there's so much happening. Glazers issue, Anthony issue, Eric Ten Hag and Sancho issue, they lost to Arsenal. So many things is just happening. But I just want to say there's nothing wrong in Eric Ten Hag calling Sancho out, and that's because this manager has given Sancho so many chances, so many opportunity. I think it was last season where Sancho was allowed to go on some holiday just to clear his head, and by the time he gets back, they wanted him to be in a right frame of mind. But he still got back, and he wasn't still playing at a very high level. And for someone that is actually one of the highest paid players in the Premier League and also in Manchester United, you should be playing at a high level. You should be doing very well. The only issue here is just Eric Ten Hag calling me out in that kind of way. But then again, that could be his own style of management. That could be his own style of managing, because there are managers that are like that. Jose Mourinho will call you out. He doesn't care about your feelings. So that's to say, Eric Ten Hag has that kind of managerial style, just like Jose Mourinho, whereby they don't care about you. If you're not performing, if you're not giving them the result they want, they'll call you out. And there are managers that are very quiet about it, like Pep Guardiola, who just puts you on the bench and everybody gets the message. That is him calling you out. But trying to make Eric Ten Hag the bad person here for calling out a player that every week we watch Sancho. Every week we watch Sancho. Sancho has not been at his very best. This is someone that was actually one of the best wingers in the world at some point in time. And in Manchester United, he has not just been at the very best. It seems Garnacho is willing, is eager to play more in that position. He's eager to play more in that position. And whenever Garnacho comes in, he makes things happen. He's always very quick. He's very aggressive, moving the ball. But for Sancho, even the way he plays, I don't know. He doesn't play with. There's just something about the way he plays when you watch him. And you might criticize Eric Ten Hag for, let's say, there are other players on the pitch that are not performing well. You might criticize him, but maybe during like at training session, they put in their best. They show they want to play for him. They show they want to play for the club during training session. But maybe when it comes on the pitch, it doesn't really work as planned. And also, you might criticize him at the moment right now. Okay, results are not just going well and everything. It's just 4 games. There's still so many games to go in the season. It's just 4 games. But you can't criticize him for calling out a player that is not doing well for him. It's either Sancho steps up to the level Eric Ten Hag wants, or he leaves. Those are the two options he has. And he will leave, he will still get paid. His football, there will always be a club out there that will take him. That is the truth. He will still make money. But for him to, like the reply, that's his own opinion. He has every right to reply. But I feel the most sensible, common thing to do is to show, is to respond back with a performance on the pitch. That is the truth. To respond back to a performance on the pitch whereby the manager has no choice but to pick you. I'll give you Pep Guardiola, for example. When the whole Cancelo issue was happening, he didn't say anything. He didn't come to the manager to call out, because Pep Guardiola, you get his message. You just leave him on the bench. It was later on we found out there was a little dispute on the training ground between him and Cancelo. But Pep won't call you out to the media. He will just leave you on the bench, and everyone gets the message. Same thing with Sterling. Same thing with Sané. Same thing with last season, Kyle Walker. It was the same thing for Kyle Walker. He wasn't playing at the level he wanted, but Kyle Walker had to prove to Pep why he is actually one of the best in that position. And at the end of the day, Kyle Walker was actually one of our best defenders in the Champions League. So it's either Sancho does that by putting in performance on the pitch, and Eric Ten Hag has no choice but to keep playing him, or he can just leave and go somewhere and make money. But I don't see anything wrong with Eric Ten Hag calling the guy out. The only problem here maybe just okay, he did it publicly, but then again, that is his own style. There are managers like that. I've given Jose Mourinho is like that. People forget this is a manager that in his first season he finished third, and he was in a final, FA Cup final, and he won the Carabao Cup. So I think people forget he has actually really, really done very well in his first season. He has done very well in his first season. And I think if it was a manager like Pep that we all wake up one morning and we hear like there's a like Pep Guardiola calls out, for example, Pep Guardiola calls out Erling Haaland for not training well. I don't think people will be really hard on Eric Ten Hag because they'll say, "Oh, it's Pep. He has done it without big names. He will still win and everything." But I think that's the problem here is people are measuring, trying to like criticize Eric Ten Hag because he's not really in that elite level of managers. Managers will always call out players. It doesn't matter whether they're in a low team, they're in a big team. If a player is not playing well, manager has every right to call out the player. It doesn't matter. Whatever the result, it does not matter. So Eric Ten Hag has every right to call Sancho out for not playing very, very well. Sancho is not putting in performances. You can't be earning that type of amount of money in a club and you're not putting in performances. And it's very simple. It's either he steps up, try to play very well to prove the manager wrong, or he leaves. It's as simple as it's not even very deep. It's not difficult. He leaves, goes somewhere else, he makes his money and he enjoys his football career because there will always be a club out there that will take him. And he's also a player that has, in the past, he has had history of not even showing up for training. Like he has not been very professional. In Man City and also in Dortmund, was being called out. So there seems there's a problem there. Because I look at it this way, I know people are different, but if I was, well, I'm not a football player, but if I was a football player and I don't know, shit happens. Like there are always things happening behind the scene. But if a manager calls me out and says I'm not putting in performances, maybe I'll go back, look at myself and try to play, like give him a very good performance. Try to, whenever I come on, I try to make something happen. Like just give him a reason why I'm actually putting in my best. But then again, maybe it's easier said than done. But for Sancho, honestly, whenever this guy comes on the pitch, it's like you don't feel the presence. I really want him to do well. That's the truth. I want him to do well. I want him to do well in Manchester United because he's a very good player. He's a very, very good player. But criticizing Eric Ten Hag or trying to make Eric Ten Hag look like a bad person here for calling out Sancho, no, that is his own style of management, and there are managers like that. And it has nothing to do whether he's on the Pep Guardiola or club level. It doesn't have to be on those levels for him to call out a player. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Every managers calling out players will always be very constant in football. It won't change. It's not going to change. Eric Ten Hag won't be the first and he won't be the last. Just that there are different ways managers do it. People like Pep will just give you the silent treatment. You won't play games. Cancelo felt at one point he was the most important player. Pep gave him the silent treatment. He even had a little jab at Pep, where when Bayern Munich took him, it was like, Tuchel was the one that denied him the Champions League, and he hopes he will be able to win the Champions League with Tuchel. To me, I saw that as a jab to Pep. But Pep didn't say anything, rather. Sane was trying to do the same thing. Pep didn't say anything. Pep will just, there's no problem. I can still do it without you. And the truth is, honestly, Manchester United will still play well without Sancho. They will still do well without Sancho. Sancho leaving the team it's not like a big problem. They will still play well without Sancho. You might criticize Eric Ten Hag now, results are not going well, or maybe there's no identity in regards to how they play, fine. Or there are players on the pitch that are not putting in the same performance, but maybe during training they give their best. You might criticize him for all you want, but saying it's wrong for a manager that is wrong. There's nothing wrong in calling out a player that is not performing well. My only issue to me is just fine the way he did it, but then again, I said that is his own style of management. Managers, they're always managers like that will call you out. They don't care about your feelings. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section what you in regards to this. Please do not forget to like and do not forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much.